Today, I'm reading the book of James, James chapter 4 and 5. And I wanted to share a little background on why I'm even talking about this. I'm not a new believer. I've always believed in God. I grew up in church, and honestly, I've backslid, come back again, backslid again, and come back again. But recently, I've made a decision. I want to take my faith seriously. I've seen the grace of God in my life in ways I can't even explain. And the only reason I'm here today is because of that grace. So lately, something in me just wanted to learn more, to understand more, to actually read the Bible and not just say I believe in God. I've even started keeping a faith-centered journal and weekly planner. And that's because I really want to get closer to God and understand Him for myself. That's what led me to the book of James. Reading James for the first time, whew, man. I started with James chapter 1, and my first reaction was, oh my God, this is aggressive. James is so direct. And unlike other books where the stories help you visualize what's happening, James just hits you with the just straight teaching. No story, no context, just truth. And if you're like me, whenever it grabs your attention, you want to dig deeper, not just read the surface level meaning and move on. But James, oh man, James just made that so difficult. The verse that stopped me today while reading James chapter 4 verse 3, it jumped out at me. It says, you ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly, to spend it on your lust. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. I thought the Bible said, ask and you shall receive. So of course, I grabbed my trusted Google Bible commentary. And I asked, okay, Google, what does this really mean? And once Google broke it down, whew, I realized I am absolutely one of those people James is talking about. I have asked God for things not to grow spiritually, not to get closer to Him, but for my selfish desires. Looking back, half my prayers weren't even prayers. They were demands, straight up demands, and honestly, I am grateful God did not answer those requests. They were selfish. And they were coming from a place that wasn't aligned with Him at all. This is why I'm recording this, because I know it's not just me. There are so many believers who love God but struggle to read the Bible consistently or struggle to understand what they're reading at all. Picking up the Bible is hard. Sometimes you don't even know where to start. That's why I want to document this journey. The confusion, the revelation, the lessons, everything. And hopefully I can build a community of people who wants to walk this journey with me. I started with the book of John before I got to James. I read the book of John, and honestly, I think that is the perfect place to start if you are new or coming back to your faith. I didn't record my thoughts on John, but I wish I had because it helped me so much. John is full of stories that I grew up hearing in church, just in passing, and coming from a Caribbean background where Good Friday and Easter are huge. We watch the crucifixion movie every year, so reading John felt familiar. But reading it from my own eyes, not just hearing it in church or watching it on TV, brought a different kind of meaning. It helped me understand who God is in a deeper way. Then going from John to James, that's a shock. John is storytelling, whereas James is straight instructions. There's nothing to visualize. It's like verse after verse after verse. And a lot of it was verses I've heard before in pieces, but never fully understood. I found myself constantly asking Google, okay, What is James trying to say here? Another verse that confused me was James chapter 4, verse 9, and it says, "Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness." And I'm like, why would God want me to mourn? Why would he want me to be sad? And after reading the explanation that Google provided, I realized it's a call to repent. John is urging believers to actually grieve over their sins instead of finding joy in worldly pleasures. When I read the explanation, it made sense. But I read it on the page, but reading it on the page myself, I didn't get that. So, if you're like me, if you're trying to get closer to God, if you're reading the Bible but sometimes feel confused, if you want to deepen your faith or don't know where to start, any of those things apply to you. Come on this journey with me. Let's read together. Let's learn together. Let's build a community of believers who are genuinely interested and trying to understand God and walk with Him. This is just the beginning, and I'm super excited, and I hope you'll join me. Thank you.